Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave. I'm a proud American from my birth to the grave. 47's the dog, took a bullet for all. Didn't flinch, didn't run, still they answer the call. And we say, be tight, be tight, be tight. Officer Tatum, be tight, be tight, be tight. Officer Tatum.
Ladies and gentlemen and ladies, welcome back to another Officer Tatum show. You guys did made me turn into an investigative reporter. You know, normally I just talk and run my mouth about certain things that I'm passionate about. But when I see things on the internet that are grossly unjust, I have to talk about them. And I know you guys have seen the last couple of days I've made videos about Michelle Bishop, who's a young lady that was at the doorstep of what I consider to be a con artist. And she was, in my opinion, honestly afraid because of the behaviors of this guy that lives there. And given the fact that he wanted to be a social justice warrior, in my opinion, and wanted clout and want to make it a race thing when this should have been over the day of, given the fact that he did all that and tried to expose these people and ruin their lives, I felt like it's my duty to make a video about this and continue to talk about it when nobody else will. And I'm not blaming anybody else for doing it. Maybe they just don't see it. But I'm on the internet all the time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and I see these things come up. So like I said in the video that we posted yesterday, or we actually posted it this morning, the video where I further explain why I believe that this gentleman that wanted to go out and, I don't know, in a glory of racial tension, the Jenkins family, you know, I said in the video that I was going to try to contact Michelle and John Bishop, who's the young lady and her husband, and also another person who reached out to me that know him a little more intimately in the business realm. So I mentioned to you guys I would try to reach out to them. Right now, I have Michelle and John ready to give their side of the story. But I want to give a brief intro about them, just real quick. It's not that much. And then I'm going to give them an opportunity to tell the truth about what happened. We all know, ever since I've been a cop and ever since I've been reporting on police stuff, when you see a video online and it seems too juicy, there's always a backstory to it. And in 2025, and I cannot say this enough, in 2025, if somebody's crying racism, it's a big red flag. Because majority of people in America ain't thought about no race. It ain't like it's the first time a black person ever lived anywhere that's of affluence, that have had money before. I mean, what planet are you living on? There's tons of people of all races that are successful if they bust their tail and do what they're supposed to do. So let me just give you a quick intro. John and Michelle Bishop were the ones that I mentioned about in the video. Michelle was the one that went to the doorbell, rang it, if you guys are familiar with the video. Online fitness training is what they do, and they're entrepreneurs. They got an incredible company, and I can't wait for them to talk about it. That's a brick and mortar company. And then also Michelle runs a online fitness training program, which is the Ladies Edge. And so we're going to talk about that as well. They've been doing it. They've been in the industry experience for almost 15 years. Just simply put, they met in the fitness industry after John had left the military. He got out of the Army. So shout out to him. Thank him for his service. They got married in 2014. They've been married for about 10 years now. They have 2 kids who I think were featured in that video. So without further ado, please welcome to the show, John and Michelle Bishop. What's going on, guys? How y'all doing?
Oh, we're doing, I keep staying positive. We're doing good. We're hanging in there.
Yeah, hanging in there, man.
Thank you so much for having us on.
Yeah, it is my pleasure. And the reason I brought you guys on, I think you know, and everybody else that's watching this should know, that I just want you guys to get your story out there. Because when you watch a little clip that's been framed and put out, I don't know, months later or several weeks later, in an attempt to assassinate your character, I think it's invaluable for you guys to have an opportunity to say your part. So we'll start from the very beginning, and I want you to tell the audience what happened from the very beginning of when you started walking with your children to seeing that truck that led you to the front door of the Jenkins residence.
Yes. So first of all, Brandon, we have to say thank you. Just so your viewers know, you're the first person that stood up for us. So thank you so much. You were like the first glimmer of hope that we've had in 4 or 5 days. So thank you so much for stepping into this. You said this isn't what I do, but we are so appreciative. You're such a blessing to us. So the story, this whole thing. So November 19th, I was out with my children. It was just before 6 o'clock in Ohio, not like Arizona. It gets dark really early in the winter. And so my husband is always super protective. And he was like, hey, it's getting dark, get home quick. And so we were finishing our run on the second half of our neighborhood. And we were jogging down the road and it had gotten dark. The sun had gone down. We were trying to run, look at the Christmas lights. And I noticed a truck coming from behind me. And that's all that it was. It was vehicle approaching from behind me. I'm a mom in the street jogging with my little girl and my baby jogger, my little 2-year-old. And I go to the grass, and I've always been told if ever this situation happened, which I never thought it would, to go to the closest house, to act like it's your home. And so that is what I was doing. I went into the grass, started walking up the sidewalk when Michael was continuing to slowly approach, and he started to say things out the window, asking if he could help me. And so I didn't respond. I wasn't talking to him. It was a man in a vehicle. I'm with my children. It's dark. And so I told my daughter, hey, turn here, act like, go up this driveway. Don't look behind you. Just walk, pretend this is your house. And so we're walking up the driveway. And at that point, we decided to go to the front porch to just knock on the door, see if somebody's there, ring the doorbell. And when I get on the doorbell get on the porch and I ring the doorbell, nobody's answering. And at that point, I am absolutely just in mom mode. I'm just doing what I think any mom would do to protect their children. I start to unbuckle my son, and I ask the man in the truck, he's still in the truck, I say to him, is this your home? And he said, yes. And at this point, there was nothing that you could say to me to make me believe anything. I was in protective mode. I was in mom mode, challenging it. I said, I don't believe that. And so I grabbed my kids. I told my daughter to run, and I ran for my life. Literally, you can hear it. Showing up at a woman's house where I was calling the police just to let them know of where I was. Just get somebody on the phone with me. And I get in the woman's house, and I had told the woman that I thought he was a young white man. My husband came, and we went to get the stroller because I had left it in the front yard. And it was at that moment that the wife stepped out onto the porch. And it was that moment when I realized that it was a Black family. My husband even said to me, that's a Black family that lives there. He said, are you sure it wasn't? He said, are you sure it wasn't? How'd you say it? You said.
So when we went to that neighbor's house where Michelle ran to, I'm watching her on my phone, by the way. Like, I have her location. I'm like, it's getting dark. I'm going to watch her. Right. So when she stopped, I'm like, why is she stopped right there? I'm already on alert. As I'm staring at it, she calls me, and I'm like, I'm going to get over there. Mm-hmm. So I get over there, and they're standing out there. She's like, everything's fine. Everything's fine. I called the police off, whatever. And I said, where was it? And she's like, that house right there. And I was like, well, I know that person. I mean, I've seen him in the neighborhood, seen him walking around, seen him at a buddy's birthday party. He's known here in the neighborhood, in the community. I was like, was it a Black guy? She's like, no, it was a white guy. And the lady that was also there, she was like, yeah, yes. She said he was a white guy.
Yes.
So go ahead.
So yes, so I told the woman, and then again, John asked me, are you sure it wasn't a Black dude? I know the man that lives there. And I said, no, I do believe it was a young white man. So I went back to the house. That was the first time they stepped out on the porch, and I realized it was in fact a Black family. And he came out, and I heard his voice, and it was him. And I made 2 apologies right then and there. I felt very stupid. You could see it in the video. I said, I'm so sorry. I said, in my mind, I was even thinking maybe this could be his house. But in that moment, I was in complete protector mode. There was, just like I said, nothing you could say at that point that was going to get me to trust that this really was this person's house. And I ran. So that night, we truly thought it was squashed. They did not accept the apology. My husband was like, get in the truck. This isn't.
They didn't accept it. They didn't accept it on the spot when you guys were in that video. Because I heard you apologize, and everybody heard you apologize on that video. So they just didn't accept it there. Did they say, well, we don't accept the apology, or they just never acknowledged the apology?
she said from the video, he starts to turn inside, and he started to continue to say the same thing over and over.
He told you that he lived here. He
Kept saying it over and over, and I kept just trying to like help de-escalate the situation, and just saying, I'm sorry, please understand where I'm coming from. I was just everything. Like I'm so sorry. I just trying to put him everything. It was awkward. It was truly awkward. And he just kept trying to justify saying, I told you I lived here. And at this point,
it got to the point where I just said, hon, this isn't going to go the way you want it to go. Because I knew they're victimizing it and they're guilting her. And I said, get in the truck. And that's what we did.
Yeah.
And
so at that
point,
point,
turn from, because this was just a Ring camera that was only available, at least at the time, to the community. This was just a small thing. It wasn't a big national incident at the time this happened. So how did this end up going from neighbors having a conversation about a mistaken identity or mistaken for someone, kind of approaching you in an awkward way, to it being viral? How did that happen?
Yeah. So what happened from there that night, we were not made aware that it was a continued issue. We had no idea. We left it there. I even ran the turkey trot by his house 3 times in November with my daughter. Like I totally thought that this was just something that was in the past. I said sorry, like truly, like I thought it was in the past. And so it was a couple mornings, a week and a half ago maybe, that I was sitting here, I was reading my Bible, I was studying, and my husband walks in and he's like, I got to talk to you about something. No. And so he had brought it to my attention that this had become a racial matter. And I was like devastated. I was like, oh my gosh, like, wow. Okay. And so from that point, and he can add his perspective on things, I just want to make sure that this is out there. Through mutual friends in the neighborhood, it has been, we have tried to reconcile things with them in the beginning. Do they want to talk? We had somebody go over there with a handwritten statement from the woman who lived in that house, showing them that there was no intent here, no racial intent on their behalf. Can we orchestrate a meeting with you guys? Which they denied. They did not want to pursue any meeting with us. This was right after we found out that this has become an issue. So
not even national stuff.
John brought it to me, and right away we're trying to orchestrate, having a mutual friend set this up, sit down with them. They did not want to do that. They did not care about the handwritten letter at that point. And so the next day, it was taken, maybe the next day or two. Nonetheless, it was very quickly. The Ring doorbell footage was brought to the Facebook page with this same understanding about unity, and we need to work on this as a community.
When you say Facebook page, you mean like a community Facebook page with just people in the community, or is it just your Facebook page?
Yeah, thanks. It was our community residence page that had just shy of 500 people in the page. And so at that point, my face was on the Ring doorbell. We love our community. We're very engaged in our community. And so I was like, they know who this is. They know it's me. It's my daughter's face, like ringing the doorbell. And so I was like, I need to make sure the community knows my heart behind this, the intent behind this, what happened. So I went on live. I'm very lengthy in my explanations, but I get on and I just pour my heart out, saying, I'm so sorry, how stupid I felt. I have that video, pouring my heart out, addressing DeMichael and Brittany specifically, telling them that I'm so sorry. I understand their point of view or where they're coming from, that I'm sorry that I didn't hold their heart in that night, understanding where they were coming from, but I was truly just protecting my kids. So my heart was given to them that day in that video, and it was not accepted again. And then in comments, as people were continuing to be upset with us through the community, multiple neighbors jumping on board, I got in the comments and I tagged Brittany again. And I said, my video today was with the hopes of reconciling things with you. And if ever given the opportunity, I would love to show you who we really are. And that was never accepted. And so within a couple of days, the page actually was taken down, not our doing. And then within, I think the next day, we start getting blown up on all of our social media accounts with all sort of hate threats. And we realized that.
How did it make you guys feel when people were saying you were racist, right? Because that's the framing of it. The white woman don't like a black man in the community, boogie black man. How dare a black man be in this affluent community? Like, what did that make you feel like when they tried to frame it that way? Knowing who you guys are, what did that make you feel like?
What at first you're like, what was said?
Yeah.
Like what was said, and we're like, we didn't say anything. So we really had to try to identify what what was being said. So we actually had to look for comments and posts of other people saying, "Oh, they did this," and I'm like, "Is that what's going on? Is that the narrative?" So it took us a minute, me, to figure out.
I don't mean to overspeak you.
Yeah.
In complete honesty, I think I felt every single emotion. I have felt at first it's like this knee jerk of like, what are they saying about us? Like, is that like, how could they say that about us? And then you start to get hurt because you're like, of all people, if you know me, like I am the biggest people pleaser. I'm praying for the Lord to deliver me of that. I want everybody to be seen. I want everybody to be included. And so truly, I was like, man, in this neighborhood, like my home, like I don't want this negative spin that I would ever be somebody to reject somebody. And so I've had every emotion coursing through my veins, but I'm trying to just continue to like have a gentle heart, because I think that's, I mean, what they need to continue to see. Like there was never any ill intent behind it at all. And so I know that you felt the same way.
Especially within our neighborhood. I mean, this is our community, and this is a small community. It's, it's like a new urbanism community, where everybody knows your name. It's like Cheers in here. And literally like one of my best friends, man, my boys, he's a black guy. We work out every single day together, dude. He's my business partner in here. We did vacation last year. Our neighbors right next door, our daughters are best friends. She's black. So like to see these things, and they know who we are and who our friends are, and our very community saying those things about us, man, it was a case of ostracism that, man, I've never experienced in my life, and it sucked.
Yeah, we're trying really hard not to even have to mention our friends that are black. Like we want to keep.
I don't even like saying that, because those are just my friends,
And I don't want to have to bring other people into any of this. So it's so unfortunate that it's like that's even being questioned.
It makes sense though, because I think people should know that like they frame you guys, and this is what made me so upset. They frame you guys as like these white people who've never seen black people before. And the idea that a black man is driving down the street spooked you. Even if he was like walking down the street, somehow it'll spook you guys. When in fact, you guys are not these white folks that not around black people or don't have any friends that are cultured whatsoever. I mean, you guys are just like any other American family whom you have friends from all backgrounds. I mean, the fact that you mentioned that you have a business partner that's black, I think that's significant. It's almost crazy to think that you guys are some racist, out of touch white family when you have a business partner that's black. Black people live in the neighborhood along with this guy. I think that it's kind of hard to say it because you don't want to say I have black friends, but at the same time, if people knew what your friend dynamic was, your business dynamic, they would look so stupid trying to frame you guys as being a racist couple.
Yeah.
So when did it go from? So once it got to the community members start to jump in. You guys start to see it go viral. So when was the first time you saw that it was like, oh crap, this is like on the internet and starting to affect our social media accounts, starting to affect our businesses? Where did that start at?
So my very good friend that I was just mentioning, we were at the gym this past Saturday morning, and we're doing lunges. We're literally out there doing lunges. And I get done and I grab my phone and I'm like, what is this? Our business, mine and his business, are getting comments. And I'm like, what the heck is this? And then I open up, Facebook. I'm like, oh, and I call her. I'm like, what's happening? What is going on? I had no idea. And honestly, like I'm laughing at it now. It's not even a laughing matter, but like, what is today now? Thursday. This is 5 days of this. I'm numb. I'm so numb to it. It's like it's a bad dream, So it's hard to even believe that this is a reality right now. But that's when we found out Saturday morning, just by me opening up my phone. She's in the middle of work and I had to like interrupt her. Hey, what's happening? And then that's when it all started.
Yeah. John says that we were numb, and like I'm sitting here, like literally, like it's been a nonstop trembling. It's like we keep telling our story over and over and over and over. And so it's like, try not to get frustrated in it and remain, a heart of humility and humbleness. Yeah. And
especially when it's get twisted,
But then it's like when I start to think about truly, like, and I know you'll get to this, but like what's happening in the outside world, like the reality of it, it's like, we're not sitting here on your platform to gain something. Like, dude, it's rough right now. And so that's the reality of it. Like we're numb and we're like, everything's blocked right now and we can't see it. But like, I just open my phone and look at something. People are sending us every article. And I'm just like, It's
And it's
so consuming.
our kids are getting like this much right now of us, and it kills us. So every day we're stretching ourselves just to go and give them some extra love in spite of all this
And
stuff.
my daughter,
that is the hardest part right now.
I got to take a bath with my daughter the other night, and she literally kept telling me, Mommy, when you walk through the valley of the shadow of death, don't be afraid. The Lord is with you. And praise God, I got little voices in my head just reminding me of those things. So I'll compose myself. But I just want you to know, like, we are composed. But
you're talking about her minimum.
Yeah, like what's the reality of it? Like the reality of the devastation is heartbreaking to us. So
yeah, and that's why I wanted to get your story out there, because this stuff can be destructive, especially when someone is doing things to gain financial recognition. And you guys are just a regular family, working hard, entrepreneur, American dream, got the house and the kids, just trying to make a living like any other American. And then you got a guy who's an opportunistic person who took this situation and blew it up past its proportion, in my opinion. So, I just wanted to get y'all story out and let people know that you guys are humans and you're good people. And I've heard people have reached out to me, and I haven't heard anything negative about you guys. You guys seem to be a wholesome family. I looked at your social media. I went and looked at the little what is it, cookie place that you got, and it looked like y'all having a good time. You and your business partner on there. I mean, it's sad that someone would try to frame that in that way when you guys are good people, and you could have reconciled it at that moment. You apologized to the guy, and yet he want to go out and play the victim and go on Shannon Sharp's podcast and all of those things. So, what is y'all's plan moving forward? I know that you have two businesses. I want to highlight your businesses real quick, because I know that the haters want to be negative towards your businesses and probably write bad comments. But for the people that follow me and the people that know what the truth is and that support you guys, I want them to know what business you have so they can give a blessing to your business instead of these haters trying to tear it down. So you guys have two businesses, I think. The brick and mortar business, and you guys have the training business. Is that what it is?
Yeah, we're juggling a lot. Yeah. So I mean,
you're entrepreneurs, huh?
Yeah. So we have the cookie shop that's called Crave Cookies. It's in the very neighborhood that we live in. And
my business is the Ladies' Edge, and just a shout out to them because I know they're watching you. You have gained an army of my girls.
For this. Yep.
We've been operating for 7 years. The Lord has been so divine in His plan for it. My logo even means defense. I mean, we cling to 1 Peter 3:15. Always be prepared to give a reason for the hope that you have. And my girls have been my rock. Like they keep telling me, like, no matter what happens, wherever you go, we're going with you. And it is just, the Ladies' Edge is such a phenomenal group of people.
Special.
So I hope you feel some extra love from them, Brandon.
Yeah. I hope so. So we're gonna put the links. We'll put the links in the description section so people can go and support and go and sign up, get a boot camp or something. I don't know. They get their protein shakes or whatever they got. And then if they're local, they can come by and show some love to the cookie shop, man, because we want to support you guys. I want to support you. I want everybody that's watching this to show support, because good people like you guys will fall by the wayside through these ignorant devils that want to make everything about race. But instead, we have to uplift people like you guys, God-fearing family, a good couple that's just trying to do the right thing. So is there anything else you guys like to add or clarify that's been put out there that's incorrect?
No, I would like to add, if given the opportunity, I just think that there's a hope that surpasses this world. And we have been standing in such great faith. And our hearts haven't been shaken to the degree that I think a lot of the world would be in this moment of just truly understanding, like, I do think that there's so much good that's going to come out of this with our story, and just showing people, like, we will continue to answer everything with love and gentleness. And our hearts are open. And so I just hope that above all, like, I decrease and that the truth prevails. And nothing can stop the Lord's plan. So let His will be done.
Amen. Well, John and Michelle, thank you so much for coming on. God bless you guys. I'm rooting for you, man. I can't wait to, as soon as we get off this live stream, I'm going to go check out the little boot camp, and I'm going to see, what kind of, I know I probably can't get them from way over here in Arizona, but I definitely going to send as many people as I can to go and dine with you guys, because you just deserve that. What they did to you guys was just unacceptable. So God bless you. God bless your family. And you guys feel free to reach out anytime.
We'll send cookies your way. You're going to get some to Arizona.
Hey, I'll take them any day of the week.
Sounds good. Thank you
All
so
right.
much. We love you.
Yeah,
Appreciate
God
you.
bless
Bye.
you guys. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Bye.
So, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it, John and Michelle Bishop. And as you can just see, and I'm willing to have the other Jenkins on. If Jenkins didn't want to come on, they come on here and tell me your side of the story. But I seen it with my own eyes, and I know it. I know the racial dynamic because I used to be in an environment where I felt a certain way about white people. I was conditioned to think that these white folks, they don't like that. I'm telling y'all, man, it's such a terrible mentality to have, but it's like interjected into the DNA of black people. It has to be, it has to somehow be extracted, or you have to be raised in a completely different environment. I remember all the time driving down the street, cop pulled me over. I'm like, oh, he only pulled me over because I'm black. They don't like to see a black man in a nice car. And when I got older and I became a cop, I realized, whoa, wait a minute. This little car that I was driving ain't a big deal. Cops make a pretty good salary. They don't make what they deserve for what they do, but cops make good money. I mean, they making six figures and above. Entry-level cops in Phoenix are probably making $80,000 entry-level, and then they go up to 100. You do some overtime, you at 100. Now, putting your life on the line is worth a lot more than that. But I remember looking back and being like, I was silly as I don't know what. That cop, if he really didn't like me, he gave me a ticket. Me and my brother crossing the freeway like this at night in our cars, trying to be cool. Got pulled over. That man didn't pull us over because we black. He pulled us over because we was driving reckless on the freeway. This whole racial dynamic thing has gotten just out of hand, and people know how to bastardize. They know how to manipulate racial encounters to make them superstars. Let me just give you an example real quick, and then we'll move on. Nick, can you bring up the clip of Homeboy just recently and him grifting like I knew he would? Play Trent's clip first. Play Trent's clip first. Because I said this yesterday on my show when I saw him on Shay Shay podcast. Yesterday, I said on my show, I said, I know what he's doing. He's trying to elevate, because he claimed he a what do you call it, developer. When I showed y'all yesterday, I don't know what he developing, but it ain't nothing that's prosperous, in my opinion. I said, he trying to get some attention so people can start investing money into his a development scheme, which I think is a scheme. I can't prove it's a scheme. I can't unequivocally say it's a scheme. Based on what he's doing, it seemed like it's a scheme. So let's play this clip of me yesterday saying this, so y'all don't think I made it up. And then we're going to play what he actually did not too long ago that literally proved my point, man. Roll the clip.
So I'm here to inspire people. I'm a real estate developer. I build houses from the ground up, single family houses. But I thought that moving into the most wealthiest neighborhood in Ohio, that this was the right thing to do. But maybe my focus needs to be building communities that's for us and by us, so that we can inspire people that look like us. We can build a.
Let me show you where the grift start. There you go. Hold on, no. I got to play what I said. All right, that's what he said, and then listen to what I said. Just play it. He says it's funny because when you know that you don't belong somewhere, and you feel this inferiority complex, you keep talking about the wealthiest community in Ohio. He said it the night that he was talking to the lady. People that got money and that belong in places and they know they do, they not talking about this is the wealthiest place. Like they got to lead with that. I thought by living in the wealthiest place, that's not a brag. That's not a brag to people that got money. That's not a thing you lead with. You got money, so of course you live over here. But when you know you don't supposed to be there, or you inferior, I'm in the greatest community. I thought that let me show you his grift. Now he say he's a real estate developer. Somebody, I can't say no names, somebody reached out to me and gave me some insight on his real estate development skills. Now, if you look at this paper, his name is there. DeMichael Jenkins. His name is right. I don't feel like waiting for it. It's coming up. I said, y'all can go back and watch the video. I mentioned that he's going to try to get money so people can invest in his little scheme. This is me talking about his foreclosures and stuff that's on public record. So I don't feel like waiting for it. I wanted to right there when I said that, but I wasn't specific enough. Let's go to the clip of him grifting real quick. We'll go to the clip of what he did standing outside of Nobu. Let's put this in perspective real quick. Homeboy is he is a residential developer. He's not a commercial real estate developer, right? Then why is he standing in front of commercial real estate talking about single family housing? It's because when you grow up in a certain community and you don't make real money, you live a lifestyle of flash and I need to feel like I'm better than I am. So I'm going to go stand in front of the Nobu sign. I'm going to stand in front of Nobu. I'm going to wear gold chains. I'm going to have designer clothes all draped all over me because that means I'm successful. In fact, Nobu is all right. That's a place. You got decent money, you can go to Nobu. It ain't like he's standing in front of a major steakhouse. It's not like he's standing in front of, out here in Arizona, they have Cafe Monarch. Or Christopher's, it's Chris, not Chris, boy. Christopher's, it's Chef Christopher's place. It's right at the Wrigley's Mansion, which the guy who had Wrigley's Gum, he had a mansion, and they turned that into a place where you can go get married. They have a restaurant there, and then Chef Christopher has his own restaurant. Cafe Monarch is like $1,000 a person to go to Cafe Monarch when you add up all your meals. And if you have old fashions, I can't confirm or deny I was there one time. You add up them old fashions, you're gonna be spending a lot of money in Cafe Monarch or some of these other high end places. But when you ghetto rich, you want to say, I'm gonna do this, and you stand in front of Nobu. I'm surprised he wasn't standing in front of Folk of the Child. Thinking that back in the day, man, when I was broke, but I wanted to be cool. Red Lobster, boy. I mean, Red Lobster, man, you rich. And then I realized there's people out here that make a lot of money, and there's places out here that's a lot crazier than that. All right, let's play his grift real quick. No offense to people that love these other places, but let's listen to his grift. Roll it.
Hey y'all, DeMichael Jenkins here, 3D Visions. I know a lot of y'all been reaching out, trying to figure out how to get into new development, new construction. I want to help 10 people get started in new construction. If you're interested, comment the word 10 and I'll send you the link. Let's get it.
None of that is single family housing. You would think that he would be standing in front of one of his properties, right? He would be standing in front of one of his properties. Do we have the other guy? He's not in yet, but he will be. Okay. Okay. So if he really had, and make sure we let John and them know that they don't have to stay on if they're done. They can still watch if they want to, but just don't let them sit there if they. Okay. So if you're really about real estate and you're a professional, right? There's a guy that I follow that's a professional developer and he's investing in real estate. He's standing in front of the property, his investment property, right? He don't go to a parking lot at Nobu and stand in front of a building and say, I want to help 10 people. This dude is a crook, man, in my opinion. I almost can put my life on it. You just give it a little bit of time, it's going to come out that he's doing something crazy. I almost want him to start helping people. And then he going to be featured on one of these shows that I watch where they expose these people because they get people to invest money and then they screw them over, right? They go, hey, put in a little money and we can invest in these properties, in these new builds, and you could get in this new build right here for $5,000. I got 20 people that put in $5,000. We're going to get a 10 ROI. We're going to 10X your money. And they get people to get in there, and then they done sold the house, and people don't know they sold it. And then they tell other people they invest in the house that they just sold. So the house don't have no profit in it, but they telling you the house is available on a little hoodwinking thing. I seen it happen. People went to jail over this same thing. And then they go and do that to 5 or 6 houses and get everybody money involved. And then they go bankrupt. They don't follow through. You don't hear from them no more. They claim that the contract wasn't right. I seen this happen before. And this guy seems like a person that would do that. You got to be very mindful of people who, when they get attention, what do they do first? It'll tell you everything you need to know about somebody. And that's whether it's unintentional or intentional. When you blow up on the internet and you all over TV and everybody's watching you, come join my course. Come join my course. Well, I could teach men how to be. Wait, first of all, you went viral on something else that had nothing to do with your course. You know, this guy went viral on something that had nothing to do with real estate investment. So how all of a sudden, when you get popularity, you now pushing your real estate, which I showed y'all the receipts on that. It looked like you got a couple foreclosures on your real estate portfolio. Had a gentleman come in yet? Yeah, they're working on it. I think we got the other guy that reached out to me because I want y'all to hear. And this is, look, so you guys know, I don't know what the truth is. I'm just letting people that did not have a voice speak. Take it for what you want it to be. Even with this next person, which is not even really related to the racial stuff, this is a business partner. And anything he say is alleged on my end. I don't know what the truth is. This is just him giving his side of the story. And if Lil Michael, DeMichael, or whatever his name is, Jenkins, if he want to come on and give his side, I'll have him come on the platform. I think it'll be very embarrassing for him, but I'll have him come on the platform. Because I don't like people shysting people. There's people that are really dealing with racism in America. That really get racially profiled and they get treated improperly. And I love to support a person like that who have been done wrong. Like, free up the space for people that have been done wrong. Don't be clouding the space with fake people that make something out of nothing. Like the dude that we had, he was at Chick-fil-A. His name was DeMarcus. So the girl, whoever, we don't even know who did it. They put DeMonkeys on the thing. Now, when he said it in the interview, it sounded like he said his name was DeMonkeys. Now, I know people named DeMonkeys. Now, when you phonetically try to spell it, it sounds like DeMonkeys, right? Like a monkey. So some kid that had a public school education then wrote monkeys on the monkeys on the thing. Or monkeys on the thing. This dude gets mad. It's racist, right? And the racist thing that he think happened, he ended up being racist to the manager because he pulls to the drive-thru and say, the black girl is at the drive-thru. Where your manager at? And bro, the black girl can't be the manager. She go, I'm the manager. They cry about white people, and he judging the black girl who's the manager and saying, where your manager at? Because he expect the manager to be white, I guess. He goes inside the building. And in the building, everybody that worked there is black, except like 3 people. And it was a girl's name on the thing. And every woman that was in the building was black. All the only white people were the guys who were white. Do we have a gentleman on? I think he's maybe his connection is not strong. We'll try to get this gentleman in real quick because I just want to expose the truth. That's it. This guy's running around saying he's a real estate developer, public records showed he got a couple foreclosures on his record. He lying about people saying they racist when Michelle and John clearly aren't racist. Their business partner in person, I've seen the social media, he's black. How they gonna be? It's crazy to me that they think that they're. I would say you're good friends with a person you're a business partner with. That guy's black. The person you hang out with probably all the time, probably see him every day. You go on family vacations with a black man that live in the community, but then they frame it as if she just saw a boogie black man one time and got spooked. Well, clearly she don't have a problem with black people. She don't have a problem with successful black people. One of their best friends live in the community, same community. But they want to frame it as these racist white people. So when this guy is running around trying to take your money, because my wife looked at his social media and he had hundreds of people texting, get started or whatever he said. Hundreds. But I just want to have the information out there so when you go to give your money to this guy, you kind of got a different opinion. He's ready? All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're getting the other gentleman that had commentary about DeMichael's business relationships. And that's associated or in part doing business with him and that got a little more information about those foreclosures. All right, I think we have them on. So I think we got him on. We'll get him here in a minute. Thank y'all for the super chats. If you have some super chat questions to ask, just super chat the questions. We'll get to the super chats after the live stream. So when you're ready, go ahead for it, Nick. He disconnected. We may have to touch base with him at another time. I think his connection is not as good. We'll try to we just let him know.
Oh, he's ready.
I think he's ready. Okay. If he cuts out, we'll have to just divert to a phone call another time because I don't want to kill the live stream with the in and out. Okay. So let's welcome to the show. I'm just going to call him by his first name, Michael. All right, Mike. What's going on, brother?
Hey, how we doing?
So I'm doing well. I just want to get straight to the point. I think there's something in the background.
Yeah, there's some dogs. Oh, good.
Okay.
Should be good.
Okay. So
Give me.
if you get I'm totally fine with doing this another time if you got the dogs. We could probably do it another time.
Yeah, they should be good. Yeah.
Okay. So you reached out to me, or I got in contact with you. We spoke a little bit before this, yesterday before this. And you made mention to me that you know this gentleman, Mr. Jenkins, through a business relationship. And some of the things that I exposed about him yesterday, at least some of the things with the foreclosure and stuff, you have more knowledge about. Can you just tell the audience, and this is for me, for my audience, it's allegedly. I don't know. I can't verify what you're saying, but I'm going to give you your voice. And if the gentleman want to come on and give his side, I'll give him his side. But yeah, I just want you to give us a perspective of what is your experience with Mr. Jenkins? What kind of business deals did you do? And what kind of developer is he, according to your experience with him?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm picking up a little lag on my end. Are we good on your end?
Yeah, totally good.
Okay, cool. So me and DeMichael Jenkins goes by the name of Mikey 3D in the real estate space out here. We got into business about 2 years ago. And still all good?
Yep.
Okay. It went to a single screen. But yeah, we got into business about 2 years ago. And how we got into business is I met him at a real estate event. And then I wanted to get into new builds. He had a couple new builds underway already. And more of the story, this could be a very long story, so I'll try to sum it up. But more of the story is he, at that time, what he expressed to me is that he had a contractor that was running those two new constructions run off with the funds. So he then needed a capital partner. Now, my company could provide the capital for these deals, as well as we're licensed and bonded general contractors as well. So we could run the project via our permits, the whole 9 yards. So we got into business. Fast forward, I've invested $303,000 to the dollar on one of the properties, and then on the second property, I invested $147,000. And come to find out, this whole entire time, I was pretty much just being used and taken advantage for the accessibility to the funds that my company could acquire via, just doing right business, right? Filing taxes, paying your taxes, and being well equipped to go get loans from the bank. So I secured supplier lines of credit to run our business. So to buy supplies like lumber, windows, doors, pretty much any and every material that you need to build a new construction. I, went to the supplier, submitted all my financials, submitted the loan docs, the whole 9 yards, and got secured. And we're talking pretty hefty lines of credit here because we're developing at a pretty large rate here. We're doing about 5 of them throughout the time of our partnership. But man, long story short, I was just being drugged through the mud, man. Taken advantage of. What transpired from all that.
So just real quick, so you guys go into partnership? You were the financier of the projects.
Mm-hmm.
Why couldn't he finance anything? Like, why couldn't it be a mutual financial thing? Was he able to do it? Did he just not want to do it? Did he claim he was going to do it but didn't do it? Why did he not finance some of these projects as well?
So on those 2 original projects, him and his wife, under the business 3D Visions, financed those builds. So they did finance those builds. But as we got through future deals and started closing loans on other lots to then put new construction, so we would get the lot and the construction loan all in one. So we just did one closing, one funding of that asset. I come to find out he didn't have tax returns, and his credit score was I believe a 500 at the time. So he didn't have tax returns, and he didn't have a credit score. So he wasn't.
He had 0 tax returns. You mean that he did not file, that you know of, any business income tax returns?
Zero.
He didn't have any W-2s that he would use in order to, I guess, help the bank understand the income that was coming in from both partners?
Zero. Matter of fact, when we went to go close the loans, I had to go up to 90% guarantor on the loan, and he had to come down to 10%. We closed the loans under our business together, but I had to go up to 90% on the operating agreement, and he had to go down to 10%. And to give you just a little recap of this guy's character, as we departed from our partnership, when it came to finishing the deals, he basically abandoned them. And then what I was told through the attorney that represents both of us is that he thought, since he only was signing on the dotted line for 10%, that he didn't really have an obligation to see those projects out.
And so we looked at the public record, and it shows that there was 5 properties. I think there was 5 properties. 3 were under foreclosure, and 2 were under a legal, I don't know, civil lawsuit or something like that. What is?
Yeah,
were you in those properties with him, or what?
Yeah. So I'm getting pretty much suffering the damages from the partnership with him as well. As far as I'm on those properties as well, because there is no deal without me signing on the loan and getting the financing for the loans. So of course that hits me as well. And also when it comes to the other stuff, I have 2 liens on those properties myself. I have a lien for the amount of $303,000 and one for $147,000. But what happened here, what transpired here, is that I was just pretty much being used along the entire process in his overall hope that I feel is premeditated from the beginning of our partnership to build the home him and his family reside in now, in the quote unquote wealthiest neighborhood in Columbus, Ohio. So when it came to building that home,
let's get to that wealthiest part here in a second. But so you're saying that you think that you guys went into business with the idea to have investments in these 5 investment properties that were new builds, right? You buy the land and you get the construction loan together. Y'all were going to build those out, sell them, and make a profit, hopefully.
Yeah.
But you're saying that you think that all this time he had no real interest, or he had no real, I guess, I won't say interest, but he didn't want to actually do that. He wanted to funnel that into the house that we see on that video where he's claiming that he's racially profiled. Is that what you're alluding to?
Yeah, absolutely. I believe it was premeditated, and things are black and white, right? So this is how I conclude to that, assumption is, as we're building these projects, the timelines on these projects are falling behind. The construction budgets are raising. I start to look into the books, and I'm starting to find out $100,000+ framing package got applied to my supplier line of credit, personally guaranteed. You can't just go to, as a builder, you can't just go to a supplier and say, hey, I want a line of credit. You got to submit financials. You got to submit loan docs. They look into you. I have to submit my AR, my agent report. I had to submit my tax returns, the whole 9 yards. So I personally guarantee those supplier lines of credit. And I come to find out that a 6-figure plus lumber bill gets applied to my line of credit, but dropped off at that house over here. I don't want to say the address, the street name, but it gets dropped off at the house in the wealthiest neighborhood in Columbus, quote unquote.
So when he say the wealthiest neighborhood in Columbus, I know you in this industry. What is he exaggerating, or is this the wealthiest place? Is it one of the wealthiest places? Because I don't know Ohio. He mentioned in the live stream that his house, a multi-million-dollar house. I don't know what that means, right? Multi-million-dollar house could be a $2 million house. That's not an expensive house in some areas, like California, where they have a $200 million houses, or out here in Phoenix and out here in DC Ranch and Silverleaf, they got houses of $30-40 million. So a $2 million house there's no $2 million houses anywhere in Silverleaf. So what's the play on that?
So, I think it's pretty much all relative, right? What's your definition of wealthy? 100% this neighborhood, in which I'm a preferred builder. My company is a preferred builder in this neighborhood. So we're actually building a lot in this neighborhood as we speak, and we're going to be breaking ground with a client here in the future on one of the lots. It is a very, very well-off neighborhood. You know what I mean? It's a unique neighborhood as well, in one of the best school districts in the surrounding areas of Columbus, Ohio. So it's definitely a very well-off neighborhood, but when it comes to his, comments about being a successful real estate developer that develops homes from the ground up, multi-million-dollar homes. I was in business with this guy. Never, not once, was a multi-million-dollar home developed. You know what I mean? Furthermore, none of the homes have been developed and sold. They haven't been executed. Because again, I feel that throughout this process, it was premeditated, that he was just trying to get to one goal and one goal only. And that was to build this home for his family, pretty much using all my access, my subs, my access to financing, my crews, the whole 9 yards, in doing so.
That's crazy. What's the name of your company, if you don't mind?
The name of my company is Yausis Estates. I have quite a few companies, but the overall main company is Yausis Estates Construction. That's the preferred builder company here in this neighborhood.
Cool. Michael, is there anything else you'd like to add that you want to be out there, or you feel like hadn't been disclosed in all of these media appearances that DeMarcus or whatever his name is, that Mr. Jenkins had to say? Is there anything you want to debunk, or have you, I guess, spoken of all the things that you want to clear up?
Yeah, absolutely. So when I heard this story running, I was like, man, I can't believe what I'm seeing. So Mr. Jenkins has made it extremely clear and evident that his number one goal is to do whatever he has to do by all means necessary to keep living the lifestyle that he's living, right? It doesn't matter who he hurts, what business he hurts, what family he hurts. It doesn't matter who he runs across in the dirt to get there. He has made it extremely evident that he is willing to do any and everything by all means necessary to keep living the lifestyle he did. Before partnering with Mr. Jenkins, our company, it was a pretty successful company. Not to brag or boast, all honor and glory goes to God for what He's blessed us with in our company. But this company was did things right. We did things right. We filed our taxes. We paid our taxes. We were we got personal tax returns, business tax returns. We can go to a bank and get approved for $2, $3, $4 million for our business. We did do that actually. And this company was staffed. We had W-2 employee on staffed with benefits. We had project managers staffed. We had about 70 subs. So we were a very well equipped company that was all formulated through hard work and sacrifice, right? After partnering with the Michael Jenkins, it is strictly just me and my family. Our family is a family-owned and operated company, by the way, but it's just pretty much me and my family. And we've had to pivot. We tried to keep people on salary, on payroll as long as we could, but it just came to a certain point where we kind of had to pivot because this was a big blow, right? The Michael Jenkins pretty much, abandoned every single investment and left me to deal with the damages of that. So just to say that, after hearing about this story and this storyline, it seems like he's trending to do the same things with the bishops. You know what I mean? And I would hate for an individual like that to be broadcasted on such a large platform and be deemed credible when that's not the truth. Like I said, he's willing to do any and everything to just keep living the lifestyle he's doing, and that's what it seems like it's trending for the bishops, right? They're pretty well put together from what I can see. You know what I mean? They seem like they have successful businesses, and again, I would hate for that to happen to anyone else. Furthermore, I mean, we're just talking about the business dealings with Mikey. We're not talking about the personal, mental, emotional effects it's had on me and my family. Again, we're a family-owned and operated business, so we're not talking about the traumas that we've had to endure through this year and a half now since departing from the partnership with Mikey, and we're left to clean up all the damages. But man, my parents, they lived their life, they did things, and they bought real estate, they sold that real estate, went off to Florida in hopes to retire. And then now they're back here, and my dad straps on the tool belt himself to keep things moving, in our company, so we can save on costs and stuff. I mean, they lived their life. They put in their time, and they were ready to ride off. And we had rentals in place where we would have cash flow, and then that's my parents will live off the cash flow of our rentals. Off the passive cash flow. From the rentals, and now we have to sell all our rentals. We pretty much have to rebuild our entire company, and again, not to even speak about the trauma. Like it's a financial pressure in our household right now. 7 months ago, I was in a really dark place. You know what I mean? My father, it was concerned for my well-being for because of everything that I was going through. Matter of fact, my father, at this moment, he's just not in a good place. He's not, you know what I mean? He's 60 something years old, and he sees I'm the baby of the family, and he sees his baby boy going through what he's going through. And this individual is living in a multi-million-dollar home and a successful real estate developer. You know what I mean?
Yeah. When you had experiences with him, just real quick, was he always the type that played the victim, or always worried about race, or did he ever treat you some type of way, being the fact that you're Hispanic and he's black, and like, did you ever have those racial encounters with him?
I never personally had racial encounters with him, but he was the type of person that would always cry, "Woe is me." You know what I mean? Like when we would go sit down and talk to a potential financer for one of the projects or something, he would want me to just do it solely because he thought he would be racially profiled, or he kind of just lives with that overall mindset.
Yeah, that's interesting, man. Well, I'm hoping the best for you, man. Like I say, I hope that you're able to if in fact these things had happened to you, which I'm led to believe they are true, although obviously, it's everybody got their own side of the coin. But after listening to you and watching how he operate, it kind of is clear that he probably is the bad guy in this situation. But man, I hope the best for you. I hope you can, recoup your money in any means that's legal, right? Whether suing him or whatever the case may be. But I appreciate it, man. Send me a link. I think you sent us a link. Send my guy a link to your business so we can shout you out. And if people want to be a part of it, they can be a part of it. But I appreciate you coming on, brother. I really do. And I hope the best for you, man. And I hate that happened to you, dealing with that guy who just seems like such a crook, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely, man. No, I appreciate you having me on this platform. Like I said, number one goal, man, is to just really get this out there. You know what I mean? I would hate for anyone to have to go through what I had to go through mentally, in this space. So I appreciate you, having me on here, this platform.
All right, brother. God bless you, man. I appreciate you. All right, so you guys have seen two people, and I guarantee you, if I just went harder and said anybody that know him, anybody that know, I probably get so much crazy stuff that it's insane. I wouldn't be able to talk to everybody that reach out to me. But at least I've been able to present at least somebody that I've had communication with that knows him in the real estate side, because he's a real estate developer, and then some whole nother person that know him because he's a neighbor, and that he all of a sudden want to be this racial victim. I wish that I can go in that community and just drive through and see how many black people live there. I wish I could see, what the demographic is in the area as a whole. And I guarantee you there's plenty of other black people that live there that nobody has a problem except the ones who want to be racist. All right, let's go to a couple of other things. I just want to touch on that, man. It just, those stories really bother me. And I love to get to the bottom of it. And now I'm able to have a big enough platform that people reach out to me. I can reach out to and get information from people, and so on and so forth. But I want to play Andrew Schultz, him blasting Dr. Fauci's pardon, because it's a lot of people talking about J6, which I have mixed feelings about J6, but generally I think it's fair that those people are pardoned. There's some people that cannot be pardoned, right? It's not a federal crime that they committed. They got prosecuted on the state level for whatever reason. Okay, I get it. But it was a protest that got a little aggressive. When people get into the Capitol building and they don't hurt nobody, that tells you that these people ain't coming to do no real problems. I literally stood on the steps where Ashley Babbitt was killed at. I stood there. I got a video. I should have sent Nick the video. I got a video where she was standing where she was killed at. I went to the Capitol over the weekend and I stood right there. And it's amazing to me that there's not more outrage that woman was shot where she was shot in that Capitol building. And I'm going to also say this. It's so disingenuous how they frame this stuff. I guarantee you when people came into the Capitol building, they had no idea where they were going. They had no idea where they were going. They had no idea. I was in the Capitol building doing a tour, and I was lost. I'm like, what? You can go this way, but you can go down that way, but you don't go that way to go down. You go over here to go down. Oh, there's a tunnel right here that go here, then here, and there. I had no idea where I was at. Somebody ain't never been to the Capitol. They gonna go storm the Capitol. They don't know. They like, where the stairs go? Where does those stairs go to? And you see on the video, the cop is running up the stairs and pretty much leading them to a certain area. They say he was leading them away from the Congress people, whatever. Once you get upstairs, you can just run around till you find it. Anyway, Andrew Schultz, a pretty outspoken comedian. Some of you guys know who he is, but he's a pretty prominent comedian. I mean, he the man now. They banned him. I think they tried to ban him from Netflix or something like that. Because they didn't like what he had to say, and he did something sold out the Madison Square Garden. I think like 2 nights in a row or something. So now he's the man. They tried to cancel him, they couldn't cancel him. But I want y'all to hear what he had to say about Dr. Fauci's pardon. Roll the clip.
But Fauci took the pardon. Fauci could say, I don't want the pardon. I don't think I did anything wrong. Mm-hmm. But he took the pardon.
I don't
is
blame
odd.
anybody for taking a pardon.
I do, because now you're guilty. Because there are a lot of people that were on the January 6th committee that were offered a pardon, and they said no. They're like, I did my job. I was supposed to investigate this. I did what I was supposed to do. I don't want the pardon.
If you're Fauci, you're not taking a pardon?
What's in my arm, yo?
Hold a second. I want y'all to understand this. It's preemptive commutations. Pardons are when you've been charged and you're pardoned of the charge. Commutations is when they commute the sentence of a charge. So therefore, you're still a convicted felon. You just don't have to go to prison. So something that you do preemptively is more of a commutation preemptively, which means that they can still be charged, but they probably won't go to jail whatsoever. So that's pretty much what he got. And if somebody's guilty, they're like, yeah, give that to me, because they can find out I did it all they want. They can do it, investigate all they want. I won't go to jail for it, though. Roll the clip.
What's in your arm, not mine.
That's what I'm saying. What's in my arm, yo? Why are you taking a pardon? What's in my arm, yo?
Okay.
What's in my arm?
I'm taking that part. I don't give a
If I put some in my arm, you're not allowed to get pardoned. You told me I need to put some in my arm. Now you can't go get pardoned. You gotta hold the weight of that decision. That's your job. What's in my arm, yo?
I mean,
what's about to come out?
You ain't wrong. Like it looks a suspect. It definitely looks crazy suspect.
I think it's because they lied about knowing it was a man-made virus, knowing it came from China, whatever. They were lying about the origins of it. That's what my first thought. Could be the vaccine too, but I tend to think they covered up when they knew where it was from.
Yeah. You lie about one thing, you lie about the other. All of a sudden, you got to keep lying to keep up the lie. There's a lot of lies going on. What's in my arm, man? What is inside my arm?
But you good.
What's in my arm?
She's so hilarious. But I get his sentiment, though, right? Can't you imagine, like, just say you went to a doctor's office and the doctor performed the surgery on you. Just say that you wanted a tummy tuck. I don't know. I don't know what surgeries a doctor. Women normally get a lot of the surgeries. Let's say you get a breast lift, okay, for the women. And just say a guy get liposuction because he fat around the waist, he get liposuction, which means they suck the fat out of your stomach. That's what this doctor does. He gets a pardon. And then you say, well, wait a minute. What is he getting a pardon for? Is there something that he did at this practice that could send him to prison federally? If there is, what did he do? Because he accepted a preemptive pardon. There's no charges yet. Preemptively. Hold on, I need to make sure I don't go to prison. And I'm using pardon lightly. It's probably a commutation, or they call it clemency. What is in his arm? What are they hiding? Why does the January 6th people need to even mention a such thing as a pardon? Why is he even mentioned? The man that that ran and orchestrated the entire response to the COVID-19 and the man that ran the whole thing needs a pardon. That's insane, bro. And as soon as the truth comes out, because we know what the truth is, we've been telling y'all for a long time. As soon as the truth comes out, people are going to be looking stupider than the mud. I didn't get nothing in my body. So if it come out that it's monkeypox or something like that they didn't concoct it up to kill you later in life, I'm good. I do feel bad for people who are forced to do it. I generally don't feel bad for the people who shamed others to get it. I don't feel bad for y'all. Y'all gonna get reap what you sow. But some people were forced into it, or some people were tricked into it. I feel bad for those people. But it's a legitimate question. I think people should be afraid to a certain degree. People should be saying, well, wait a minute. This is like, how is the guy that ran this whole COVID thing at risk of going to jail? How is everybody on J6 at risk of going to jail? This was supposed to be the biggest insurrection, the biggest crime against democracy since 9/11, according to these dumb leftists. But so then, if Trump is the problem and J6ers are the problem, how then do they need a preemptive pardon? If we the problem. But the truth is, we told y'all that we weren't the problem. They done rigged up some stuff. They're the ones doing negative stuff. They're the ones doing crimes. We told y'all. His whole family got a pardon. Wait a minute. Donald Trump's family is the crime family, remember? Donald Trump's family was colluding with the Russians. And his family didn't get a preemptive pardon at all. He never mentioned it, never did it. Nobody in his family's pardoned. But Joe Biden pardoned his whole family. What did they do? What did they do? Now, if somebody offered me a pardon, more than likely I'll take it, right? I mean, I think I'll take it because I don't know what y'all trying to do. Y'all might try to do some Alvin Bragg stuff. Come on, I'll take it, pardon. I don't care. I don't have to worry about y'all doing that. Or if you know you did dirt, and you did dirt at the behest of Joe Biden, and I won't say behest is not the word. You did dirt with under the guise of or in instruction from the Joe Bidens, the leftists, and you did that dirt, you probably need a pardon. And I think it's shameful that we even have this conversation. Anyway, California transgender high school basketball player nearly outscored entire girls team. I got to play this. I'm glad that we put this in motion. But let's just, everybody want to say, oh, Republicans, this ain't even a real thing. It's just like 3 girls, 3 trans that's in the. How are you acting in good faith when you this girl? Oh, boy, I call them a girl. I don't know what they are. And nowadays, you have no idea what they are. Henry Hanlon, a transgender athlete, played for the San Francisco Waldorf High School's girls basketball team. Let's see. This person's performance, I think that we're going to watch right here, on January 14, 2025, scores 29 points, leading the team to a 59-33 victory over a Jewish high school. Now, 29 points, weakened in the mud. But when the other team only scored 33 points, 20, you almost beat them with just you. But that ain't even the thing. Look at the person playing, though. Roll the clip. Look at this big goofy mouth. Look at this big goof. Hold on, man. Nick, stop it. Did this just yell? Oh! Did you hear that? Go back, Nick. Go back. Homeboy, you can see homeboy head is bigger than every girl head on the court, which already looks silly. Nick, watch this. I want y'all to listen. I'm going to shut up and let y'all listen. Homeboy gets the rebound. He runs down court, and when he gets to the rim and he lifts his hand up because he's open, because nobody can guard him, he go, ah! Watch this. Play it, Nick. Bro, you can't even go, ah! You gotta, I bet he can dunk. Nah, he kind of trash. That's why you're a girl. So he get trash. He wouldn't even make the men's basketball team. He would be on the B team. But he on the girl team, killing, bro. That mama think he Kobe Bryant. You sorry son of a gun. Ain't no reason somebody to. You know, you out there, play the clip back, no sound. I just want y'all to look at the demeanor. There's more to it, roll it. Just roll it. I think I didn't realize it was more. Is this the same clip or a different clip? Oh, yeah. Replay it. Play the sound on it. Rebounding on everybody. Rebound. 3 rebounds in a row. This don't make no sense, bro. They didn't say how many rebounds he got. This mother got 200 rebounds. 200 rebounds. Nick, I think he rebounded every single basket that didn't go in. It says that season stats average 21 points a game, which is kind of trash. Contributed significantly to the team's offense, scoring 150 out of 300 points. One player is scoring half of all their points. And I guarantee you, bro, they don't let him play the whole game. When they up on teams and stomping them out, they don't let him play. I bet coaches like, pass the ball. You can't shoot every time it'll look too obvious. Pass the ball to the other little frail girls on the field and let them play. He throw the ball just for him to throw it back to him. That person controlled this whole play, got the rebound, passed it to somebody who passed it back to him so he can pass it to somebody to pass it back to him to hit the goal. Their whole offense is this person. Bro, hold on. They should be ashamed of himself, though. You can keep it playing. I would be ashamed of myself. If I was trying to transition because I just felt I was in the wrong body, but I know I'm finna smash on these girls, I'd be like, you know what? Maybe I got to sit this out because I know I have this love and appreciation for womanhood. So I kind of feel like I guess I know what it is to be a woman. At minimum, I need to respect women. I'm finna smash on these girls and they're going to lose every single game now that I'm a part of the team. Why is it? Why am I bigger than every girl on the field, on the court? Why am I bigger than every girl on the court? Oh, because you're a dude. That's why you're bigger than every girl on the court. Why did I get every rebound in that game? Man, I swear to God is my witness. If my kid was trans, which will never happen. You're 18, you can be trans. You living with me, you ain't trans or nothing. Only thing you finna transition to is transition that trash can out there and then put the recycling bin out there. That's the transition you're doing. You take trash in, put the recycling bin out. That's the only transition you're doing. When you're 18, you can do whatever you want to do. I don't care what you do. You ain't living with me being trans and stuff. But if somehow, some way, my kid was trans, hey, homeboy, I'm not coming to your game and looking like no fool. I'm at your game cheering you beat up these girls like that. I ain't doing it. I ain't doing it, man. You're going and went breaking records and I'm in the crowd looking like I'm proud. Yeah. Let's go, boy. Let's go, Lindsay. Homeboy, forget his son out there. Forget his son ain't his son no more. Let's go, boy. Let's go, boy. Lindsay. Girl. Cray. All right. Let's see. I think we got a couple clips about the mass deportation. We got people that are literally losing their minds over this perception of mass deportation. And he's losing his mind. You got influencers online, leftists, saying, what happened when your daughter's friend leave school and her parents can't pick her up because they got deported. The same thing that happens when your daddy get a DUI on the way to pick you up from school is the same thing gonna happen to somebody getting deported. You don't get no special treatment because you're an illegal alien. If I go and commit a crime before I go pick my son up from school, I'm finna go to jail. They're not finna say, oh no, we'll take you to jail after you pick your kids up. No, my kid finna go to CPS and the next of kin gonna get notified. You know, just because you're illegal don't mean that somehow they supposed to let you get your kids out of school. No, you went to jail because you committing crimes. Now, people in their feelings, but this is the highlight. Yeah, this is it. Nick, play this fool. This is what they saying, y'all, just so y'all know. This is what they saying, wrote a clip.
I have a quick question for anyone who voted for Donald Trump. What are you going to tell your child when they come home from school crying because their best friend was just taken out of their classroom by an immigration agent? Have you thought that far ahead? Because you should probably start thinking.
I'm gonna say her daddy came to this country illegally. It's against the law. So they had to take her to somebody who can keep her because they finna go back to Mexico. Or if your kid's small enough, say, oh, she's going back home. That's what she doing. She going home. She going home to be with her family. Yeah, these leftists, these people so silly to me, man. I wish we could separate our country. You know how it used to be the Union? You know, you had the Union soldiers and Confederacy. I wish we could have the left and the right. And then we could fight for land after we separated, then we could fight. And then we'll end up having the whole country. Y'all be in Washington State. In Oregon and Washington, that's all y'all. We'll take California for y'all cowards. A little winter soy eating mud. But let's play the clip of that madman. Said he ain't going back to Haiti. The devil is a liar. You look like you going right there. Roll the clip.
I'm not going back to Haiti.
One of those threats is this illegal alien from Haiti. ICE says he's a gang member with 17 criminal convictions in recent years.
Trump, you feel me? Yo, Biden forever, bro. Thank Obama for everything that he did for me, bro.
ICE Boston quickly takes down its next targets, including this illegal alien from Brazil who has an Interpol red notice for armed robbery. This Salvadoran illegal alien charged locally with rape and released by a sanctuary jurisdiction.
Señor, ¿cómo se llama?
And this Dominican illegal alien charged with assault with a deadly weapon and heroin trafficking. Officers also arrested this Guatemalan MS-13 gang member facing gun charges. ICE says he was released from local custody just the day before. Their detainer request was ignored because of sanctuary policies. And in a sign of shifting priorities with the new Trump administration, this man, who was in the same apartment as the target, was also arrested after ICE determined he's also in the U.S. illegally. This is what ICE calls collateral.
Cuz. They come in knocking on your neighbors. All y'all going. They came for him and got him. They did a 2-for-1. Bro, they got a BOGO going on. Get one, get another one. That's what y'all get. This is what we supposed to be doing. This is what we supposed to be doing. They act like this is something new. They're Border Patrol and Customs or ICE. This is what they do. They get people who have deportation orders. What are we talking about? That's like being shocked that a police officer arrested somebody for trespassing. They're law enforcement officers. So what are they supposed to do? Come here, leftist idiot. They're supposed to enforce the law. Is that shocking to you? They're not supposed to babysit people at the border. They're not supposed to be changing diapers and trying to build impromptu facilities for people to stay in. They're supposed to come and enforce the law. And they getting 2-for-1. I hope they go get a whole apartment complex full of y'all. If you came over here illegally, you need to go back home. Okay? Okay, Papi? You need to go home. And I tell you this, I'm not mad because people work hard. The people at the hotel I was in couldn't even speak English. I was mad, but I had to give them a little props. I said, you got people that been in America since they were born here, and they won't even get a job. And you got this guy who can't speak no English working in a hotel. I stayed at the Viceroy, which they inflated them prices by 10 times. I stayed at the Viceroy. Homeboy came by the hotel with champagne in a cart. I'm like, who is it? He can't speak nothing. I'm like, oh, okay. I got to pay for this? Or this like a gift? Who did this come from? No English. I'm like, you got to be kidding me, bro. You can't say nothing. He couldn't say no English. You know how you get some people that got a little bit of English, it's broken English. They're like, oh, no, the office free. I'm like, all right, that's all I need to know. It's free and from the office. All right, come on. Bring that champagne in here. Homeboy couldn't say no words. He ended up typing it on his phone and showing it to me. And I say, oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, it's a gift from the front office. It's for hospitality. Okay, thank you, senor. That man couldn't speak no English. And it's crazy to me because it's like either one or two things. Either he's illegal and he's working there, or he's illegal and he's willing to get paid dirt, and so he took the job of a regular American citizen, or Americans are so entitled that they wouldn't dare work an entry-level job. And so a man that can't even speak the language is willing to get up there and get embarrassed and work his butt off to make some money for his family. And some of y'all can't even get off the couch. I couldn't imagine being somewhere where I couldn't speak the language. If I went to Mexico and I had to speak Spanish, I don't know what I'd do. I'd be like, I don't know. I speak a little Spanish, but I can't speak enough, right? I know how to say necesito agua. That means I need water, okay? I don't know how to say food, but I can do this. Eat. What do you say? Comida. Por favor, señor. Andale. I know how to say be in Spanish, too. So if you get crazy and I had to cuss you out, I know how to say a cuss word. What else do I know how to say? I know how to do the numbers, right? 21, 22, 23. I know how to go down to numbers, right? That was in the 20s. So just in case you know, 21 is 21. So I know how to do some of that. I know how to say, drop your weapon. I know how to say, suelta las armas. Suelta las armas, right? Apague el motor. That means turn the engine off. I know how to say, I forget keys. Is that lápiz or no? Lápiz is shoes, right? Or pencil is lápiz. I forget keys. Apague motor. That means turn the car off. Apague motor. I think turn the car off. I forget how to say put the keys on the roof. So when I was on the SWAT team, they taught us all the commands in Spanish. So we know how to arrest you, right? We know how to arrest you. So when you start acting up, I know how to tell you. I forget them now. Votese. What's votese? Votese. What's votese, man? Somebody look it up.
I don't know how to spell it. Just say it again.
Votese. Votese in Spanish. Yeah, no, I can't even say votese right in Spanish. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I was just trying to find out what votese means because it was one of the words we learned. Somebody in the chat know what Spanish is? Votese. Apague el motor, votese, suelta las armas, suelta las keys, arrestado. I think it's votese mean turn around. Somebody giving us something? Oh yeah, that's what it was. Señor, votese. Suelta las armas. We should learn how to knock on the door too and say, is anybody home? I forgot all that because I don't have to do it no more. But I got off topic. All right, where's Super Chat at?
You want to finish this clip? I'll get the Super Chats up in the meantime.
Yeah, roll the clip.
You got your main target just now, but you got somebody else. What just happened?
So our main target was released by a sanctuary jurisdiction, not honoring a detainer. That person was released back into the community, and when we went to go find him, he's with somebody else who was previously removed from the United States. So he's going to go today too.
And that is exactly what Border Czar Tom Homan has warned would happen.
When we find the bad guy, he's probably with others that are in the United States illegally. They may not be a criminal priority, but we're not walking away from them.
ICE Boston says they will continue to go into sanctuary jurisdictions and do their job.
Today was a good day. Today we took several significant public safety threats out of our communities. Unfortunately, a lot were released by sanctuary policies, but we're here to tell the Commonwealth and the rest of the country that we're going to find them whether they're released or not.
And guys, shortly after we finished filming, ICE Boston told us they arrested 2 more targets in other parts of town away from our cameras. One of those targets is a previously deported Honduran illegal alien who was arrested for raping a woman while putting a gun in her mouth. The other target they got is a Haitian man who first flew into the United States in 2023 as part of President Biden's controversial migrant flights mass parole program. Well, they just picked him up yesterday because he's been arrested locally for sexual assault. We'll send it back to you.
Bill Mallusian, it was fascinating to watch all of that. I think I was just saying to Bill, this is terrible for Joe Biden and the legacy that he tried to leave behind. A question from me, how soon will they actually be leaving the country? Does that take a long time?
It depends what country they're from. If they're from cooperable countries like El Salvador, Guatemala, countries like that, it can be quick. It can be within days or weeks. If it's countries that are harder to deport, countries that don't cooperate with the U.S. as much, it can go into a process of months. But the Trump administration is changing policies with something called expedited removal. The bottom line is people at home don't need to understand all the policies. The Trump administration is just going to work as fast as they can to get all the people you just saw on camera there out of the country as fast as possible. They're also going to use their State Department, now led by Marco Rubio, to put pressure on countries that don't cooperate with the U.S. as much when it comes to those deportations.
Bill, just two points of clarification here. It seems a lot of these crimes are associated with sex crimes. I'm just looking at the list a bit earlier today. I don't know if that generally is the case or not. And second, if Boston's a sanctuary city, how are they allowed to do this? Because we told there would be resistance.
Boston doesn't have to cooperate with ICE, but there's nothing they can do to stop ICE from coming into their city and enforcing the law. And that's exactly what happened yesterday. And that's the point ICE makes to us is, look, they don't have to cooperate with our detainer requests. They don't have to tell our officers when they're releasing somebody from jail. But we're going to do our job. We have our intel guys out in the field. We have people with eyes all over the place, and we're going to snatch those guys. So they can make ICE's job more difficult, longer, and more dangerous, but it's not going to stop ICE from doing the job, guys. The bottom line is ICE says it's safer for everybody involved if locals would just hand these guys over in jail once they're arrested, but they don't. They let them out onto the streets. They don't tell ICE about it, so ICE has to spend a lot of resources gathering intel, finding these guys, and then going out into the community to do arrests, which could be dangerous. You saw that combative Haitian man, and then you saw, in the case of that one MS-13 member, his friend got snagged. They weren't even looking for him. They were looking for the MS-13 guy. They picked him up because a sanctuary jurisdiction released the MS-13 guy. ICE found him and then found the guy who was in the apartment with. They found out he was an illegal alien as well. So now he's going to be deported too.
Wow.
Amazing. Bill Mallusian, thank you so much. More to come on that.
Thank you, Bill.
So thank God Donald Trump is doing exactly what he said he was going to do. The crazy thing is, why is this even a controversy? It's crazy to me. It's crazy that it's a controversy. Let's get to the super chats real quick. Thank you all for super chatting, whoever you may be. What happened? All right. Let's go with let's start at the top. Larry Welsh. Thanks so much for the super chat. It says, but it's ridiculous that everything is one-sided. No one news besides the Tulsa news last year has reported on a black man that shot and killed 2 white women, and when he got arrested, he said he only did it because they were white. 100%. It was a black couple that adopted a white girl just to manipulate her. Now there's white people that did it too. They had 2 black kids that they made slaves or something like that. It sounds crazy, but they made them into slaves. They'll report that, but they won't report the black people that do it to white people. But I'll say this, and I say it all the time. Black people are the most racist people in America. And I don't know if it's not inherent. It's that if you're in an environment that promotes racism and you can openly be racist, it just conjures up more racism. A white person can never get on TV and say, I'm sick of black people. I'm tired of these ends. A person can get on television and say, I'm sick of white people. A black person can. And ain't nothing nobody gonna do about it. Anyway, Alicia for America. Black people who have the time to invest in playing victim to racism obviously have too much idle time on their hands. Most, I guess, if not all of these claims, incidents are manufactured by blacks, 100%. But they grift people, man. They sell them a dream and then they invest with them and then they get screwed out of their money and then, you know, it is what it is. Dustin, can I get their cookies delivered? Want to support? I'm gonna talk to him about that and see if he can. I want everybody to support them, to be honest. Yeah, that's fine. Maybe they don't want to send a cookie link. They probably don't want no drama at their cookie place. All right, so go down. I say that guy's white, right? Yeah, that dude looked like a white dude, bro. It's crazy because the black men or the mixed dudes, they don't get enough love from the black community growing up. So they have to be hyper focused on trying to act like they black. Because the white man, the black man will tell you, let me just put it like this. White people have no idea in the most cases, unless you grew up in a black neighborhood or you work in a black neighborhood, the colorism that exists in the black neighborhood. The blacker you are, the more you black, like meaning that the more credibility you got being black. The lighter the skin, the less people really consider you being black. And the more you get bullied. And then when it comes to beauty, the darker you are, the worse people treat you, right? Light-skinned chicks get all the love. Dark-skinned chicks get treated poorly in the black community. When it comes to men, the light-skinned dudes get treated poorly because they light bright. Oh, you think you white? And then the black dudes are more authentic.
There's someone commented on that video that called him a clown. You should read it. It's a comment. It's in the bottom.
Call who a clown?
That white, the base guy.
Somebody commented? Yeah. It's important enough for me to read it right this minute?
Yeah, I just want me to get your attention while you're still alive.
Okay, so my wife trumps everything else. So I made a video, as you guys know, about the grifting idiot. I interviewed the bishops earlier. It says, I haven't watched this video yet, but I actually built the fence for this clown at the house. The guy was a scumbag from the start, and all the contractors he had working on the house were telling me how shady he was to all of them. He was having guys do shady work and wasn't passing inspection, and we had to fight with him to get our money from him. When I started hearing the story, I told Krista I had a feeling knowing who they were dealing with before I saw who it was. Oh, my God. I need to get somebody reach out to her. My wife probably watching. Somebody reach out to her. I want to get everybody to expose this dude.
Yeah, his name is Steve that wrote that.
Steve?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a him. Reach out to him. Sorry.
What?
You said reach out to her, but reach out to him.
No.
Oh. Sorry.
Never mind. Okay. Let's see. He built like a chicken nugget. He was built kind of weird. Let's see. 1,000%. He's a con. He's a con in real estate. Man, look, I've been around. I was born during the day. I wasn't born yesterday. I know con artists when I see them, man. They all look the same. They act the same. I got people in my family that are con artists. I know people when people that talk like him, that sound like him, that say I'm living in the most affluent neighborhood. And when you say stuff like that, you a con artist. You got dreads and you got a little fake, try to have a little sideburns, and you as white as he is, and you trying to act black, you a con artist. When you selling courses online and all this, you a con artist, bro. I'm trying to help my community do real estate. That's the big, when somebody talk like that, they're a con artist. Ain't no real estate agent talking like that. I'm trying to do a community for us, by us. Then why don't you live in a community that already got black people in it? That black people that live in Cleveland, Ohio, they got a whole community of black people. You ain't doing no real estate in the community of black people, but you want to build a community for the black people, but you won't live near black people. If y'all don't know that's a grift, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, I called out Shannon Sharp yesterday on my video. We should cut that. Cut that part where I'm calling out Shannon Sharp and then tag him in it on Instagram. But I called out Shannon Sharp for having that dude on anyway, and Shannon Sharp like, man, I pray for you, man. I hope everything is good. I'm like, Shannon, bro, y'all got to stop feeding into these crooked people. This woman, people that reached out to me already that this guy's a crook. I knew he was a crook. The person that commented on my page said they did the fence. I'm pretty sure they can prove it. They did the fence on this guy's house. He was shady. The guy that I just brought on, Mike, said he did business with him and he's a complete shady person. And these people just trying to make a living. You know what I'm saying? And this dude trying to exploit people. Anyway, just watched the other video, and dude took things way too far. From a behavior analysis standpoint, I would say that you should have statements, incentivize defensiveness that could have been avoided. Say that you should have statements, incentivize defensiveness that could have been avoided. I think that what this person is saying is that when Michelle said you should have to the Jenkins, that created defensiveness. Right? You should have said this is your house, and the person gets mad. I don't necessarily, I think that's what you're saying. I don't necessarily disagree with that, but when you're a grifter, you're a grifter. Okay, let's go down. Larry, thanks so much for another super chat. You're the reason my wife figured out I don't see color. I see moral values, and now, because of you, she can see the Bible truth and not media truth. Oh, I love it. Appreciate it. Dustin says, this man will have God to deal with 100%. Let's see. I'm so glad I came over to the holy and sanctified side, Republicans. The left is nuts. How do they continue to be silly and not wake up? The devil got them in a headlock. D, thanks so much for joining Tatum Squad. Let's see. Dustin said, can we get some YMCA so we all can dance together? That YMCA song is a little zesty. Let's see. Dog Mama, to all of the illegal aliens in the left. Let's see. Illegal aliens in the left with their delusional feelings. Bye-bye. Bye-bye-bye. All right, let's go to Zach. Zach down right there. Let's go to Zach. Thanks so much for the super chat. If my daughter ever has to play against boys, I'm subbing in and getting all my flagrants and technicals and texts. That's funny. Oh yeah, I'll be on the court. Y'all don't play with me. Let's see. He creative, big bro. Finally catching you live off work today. God bless you and your family. I appreciate it. He creative also. Thanks for another super chat. 1964. Black people. We don't want handouts. We don't want to be judged by our skin. 2025 DEI blacks. We want to be judged by our skin. It's stupid. I know, bro. Like, people are stupid, bro. I don't get it. We cry all year long and we invoke Martin Luther King, and that dude's most famous statement is that we should be judged by the content of our character, not the color of our skin. I don't understand how you look at a job and say we need more black people. You should say we need more people with this type of content or this type of character content. We need people with this type of character. We need people that act like this, that have professionalism like this. That's what we need. You help black people be more equipped to be that, and they'll have more opportunities. You don't manufacture opportunities when black people don't have the content of character, but they still in a position of power. This dude finna rip all kind of people off, bro. I want people to write statements to me, man, about this dude. 100% Shay walks this all back. I think Shay gonna act like it never happened. He gonna act like it never happened. It wasn't on his Shannon Sharp interview. He did it on a little midnight podcast with Ocho Cinco. like Nightcap or something. I don't know. So a little Nightcap podcast. So it's not his biggest platform. But no, I'm gonna make him eat. I'm gonna make him eat crow because they so interested in playing victim all the time. They get caught up in stuff like this. Ain't no white person gonna come to me and be like, "Oh, black people doing me dirty, Brandon. Can you expose this?" No, let me see what they did. Just because they black and you white don't mean you right. And it's vice versa. Black man come to me, man, these people are racist. White man came to me and said that. Let me see what happened. Let me see the video. Oh, you ain't got no video. So you telling me that they said this to you. Where were they at? Any witnesses? I ain't jumping on that bandwagon. Looking like George Costanza. Is that Costanza? Yeah. I don't know who George Costanza is. Should I know that? Nah, I don't know who that is. It looks like George Costanza had black son. Either way it go, that sounds funny. I want to hear who George Costanza is. Somebody said. Seinfeld actor. Oh, that's George Costanza? Yeah, from Seinfeld. Oh, yeah. It's funny. I know who he is. I didn't know his name. His half black. That dude look like him, though, with dreads. Somebody find George Costanza with dreads. That is hilarious. I mean, George Costanza, so I can put him on the screen. That dude look like it could be his half black son. That is hilarious. Is that all the super chats?
Someone just had 51, but it's not popping up.
Yeah, maybe just go out and come back in. Or maybe that would go to the top. Here, Nick, you see that thing that said fan funding? Yeah. Click that. Does it click? Go to live chat, and then it should pop up there once it loads. Yeah, maybe just close it out and open it back up. Maybe I can look at it on my phone. But yeah, man, I want to expose that guy, man. I don't like when people treat people like that. I just don't like it. I don't like it, bro. Don't hurt people. Try to get a leg up. It never works, man. It never works. You never step on somebody to get to the next level. Never do that. The thing is, you help people go to the next level, and then maybe, just maybe, they'll help you get up there. You get to the next level by helping other people get to the next level. You don't get to the next level by defrauding people. And that guy's a fraud. Anyway, I think I said enough. Somebody got a $50 super chat. What does it say, Nick? It's right there. Just click on it. Just click on it.
It's a little frightening that
I think I can read it from here. He said okay. All right, open it up. It's a little frightening that at large, it's a little frightening that at large black people are raised to think so poorly of white people, but many of these same black people cannibalize each other through black-run scams. Heartbreaking. Thank you for what you do, sir. I appreciate it. KKB couldn't have said it any better. The most dangerous black people to the most dangerous people to the black community are black people. I'm telling you, they run these scams on each other. If you go and look at these scams for these black people, they really hurting black people. They got black people involved in these real estate deals and real estate. Bro, we trying to make this money. I'm doing taxes. Man, they getting people sent to jail. PPP loans. They got people going to jail over these PPP loans. Who are their predators? I mean, who is the prey for the predators? Their own community. What did he do? He went on Shay to get enough leverage to say, I want to help people start in real estate, going after black people. And black people are so silly and they so desperate at times, looking for a come up, looking for quick money, not trying to work hard to get it, but want to get rich quick scheme, that they get caught up. And then these people go to jail and they get in trouble and stuff, but all your money gone. You ain't never gonna get your money back. Unless you're a big player and you can afford a lawyer. But when you go to zero, you ain't getting your money back. Anyway, I hope this actually goes viral. I think we can make it go viral because I just think this guy needs to stop, bro. And I think Shay and all these people giving him a platform need to just get exposed. Enough is enough. Anyway, I think I'm done. I'll see you guys on the next one. I'm out of here.
Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave. I'm a proud American from my birth to the grave. 47's the top, took a bullet for all. Didn't flinch, getting